Hello, YouTubers and all those who happen to watch. Today we're reviewing Halo Reach. This game is so explosive, so great, so amazing that it destroys its own self. It destroys everything around it and it destroys your face. So much so, you have to sit in your Xbox 360 in for repair because the crater it leaves in your console is so large, it makes your video card go. But no. Today we're really going to be talking about what Halo Reach does to your consoles, your older ones at least. Now granted, I had my original 2006 model for quite a while, and I had the thing burning with a beautiful passion. After I got it fixed once, the console worked fantastic after the first free repair. You know, everything worked great, played Halo, Batman Arkham Asylum, you know, all the other great games on my console. Now, I don't got a problem mostly with Xbox at all, or Microsoft for that matter. I think they're both okay companies. I'm sorry, even though it's the same company. But, you know, there's one thing that they never get down, and they never get it down perfect, is the hardware. Now, granted, this console, this is like a 60 gigabyte hard drive, which, you know, quite frankly, it's been serving me quite well. And I'm not gonna say, you know, the console's a piece of shit. I'm not gonna get upset because of one reason. Because there's two sides of being smart. And one half is knowing that you're not great at something, or you admit you're stupid at something. And that's the same that goes with being intelligent. You know, you gotta know full well you have problems with yourself in order to know you're intelligent. And if people think they're flawless, they're perfect, then they're obviously wrong too. And that's the same with Microsoft. I mean, a lot of these companies brag about themselves. I mean, even though the Wii brags about itself, the PS3 brags about itself, even the fanboys brag about the console. And you know, you have that entire console war where everything is better than this or that, or it's like, really, just shut up. You know, it really doesn't matter. If you like the console that much, just go freaking play it. That's all there is to it. So, down to it, console basically got craterized. And this is the second console I was using, might I add. Now, the first console, as I probably already explained on Facebook or wherever else, that it got craterized, meaning there was that issue with the disc, which I talked about it in my previous Halo video. I was just showing off my first impressions, my opinions about the game. I think the game's alright, you know, but I'm going to get my full review on it once obviously I get my two consoles back. Because I was borrowing my father and my mother's Xbox 360 to play the game. Because I was trying to fully play it through and replay it again, grab the footage from the replay, and vice versa, vice grip, repeat. And sadly though, I got a three red lights of death. Now funny enough, my first Xbox, which is... pull this one out. Which is where this faceplate came from. This one, the 2006 model, actually worked fantastic. It was only the problem with the game that I had to send it in. So that console surprisingly got fixed to a working status. It didn't give me any pixel glitches. It didn't give me any hardware issues at all. Now people tell me, you know, you can do the X trick, which is you open up the console and you tighten it up a little bit X-wise, and it fixes the console just fine. Now I am the type of guy that if I know I got a warranty behind a console and I can prove to a company that they're wrong about something, then I'm going to find it my best interest to use the system to my advantage if I know I'm in the right. Because I did have the my father and mother's console was not under warranty yet, so lucky for them, I was actually able to set them up with a free repair with this console, because I talked to the service. I told them that it was a Halo Reach problem because Halo Reach broke the console. The console worked 100% before Halo Reach went to the console. Now, if you guys own an old console that happens to share the same fitting status of this faceplate, then a humongous warning to you guys. If you guys own an old Xbox console, the Elites, the Xbox Pro, the Arcade, you know, whatever they like to call these consoles, even though they're generically the same damn console, just painted differently. It's to the point, sorry I had to mute vent, it's to the point that, you know, I really don't hate the console at all. I don't. You know, there's no one's opinion. Nothing's gonna change my opinion about. I think that every console is equally good in their own respects. Because I mean, I like a lot of games that were exclusives to 360 only. And, you know, there's a couple of reasons why I come back to the console. I mean, a lot of people probably had, like, you know, 25 console repairs and all that, and when they got the Slim Edition, everything was like Candyland for them after that. I mean, again, you gotta understand one thing, and I think Microsoft's quite aware of it, that they're not great at hardware at all. They're not. But am I gonna hold it past them for having that inexperience in the console market? Absolutely not, because you know, Microsoft might not be perfect. Hell, even Sony is not perfect in some cases, and neither is Nintendo, but you know what? They still give you a console to play and be entertained for. And I had plenty of games on this console that I was entertained with, that were exclusives. So, for me to say that I did not have fun with this console, because I'm currently getting them repaired right now, then that would just be me lying to myself and everybody else out there. Again, I love this console, I love this console, and I love the Nintendo Wii console. I can't find the controller, so you have to deal with it. But, again, I do not think that this experience totally disappointed my love or interest for the console at all. Quite frankly, I think I'm disappointed more than anything else, but, you know, I'm getting 2 free repairs done as we speak for both the consoles because Microsoft was willing to atone for their mistake, especially with this damn game. But, you know, again, if you guys are planning to buy this game alone, Halo Reach, someone asked me in a previous video if they can have my code for the Spartan Recon helmet because they just bought the game. I'm thinking to myself, well, if you just bought the game, how come you didn't get this Spartan code? They didn't answer me, so I suppose they probably realized that they got the code as well, and whatever. I already used my code anyway, and I got the Recon helmet, whatever. So, really think that all these consoles out there have one major problem with them. They're not going to last forever. I don't care what people say about the PS3 since granted, it's a stable hardware server. It's stable. I get that. Some of their updates take fucking forever though when you want to update something, and it's kind of redundant after a while. I can respect the fact that the PS3 is a very stable console. I respect the fact that, you know, Nintendo went with the cheaper route with their console, making it a very, you know, cost-efficient, but yet a very fun console to play with. Because let's face it, guys, you guys played a Mario game like Mario Kart or one of the Mario games, or, I mean, some of the staples for the console, and you actually enjoyed it. Don't act like you didn't. There's a couple games, at least, on every console that you equally like, even though you might not totally hate the console. I mean, some people hate the console or get discouraged with these consoles because they're not perfect. And that's always the main focus in everyone's attention, is that they're going to hate consoles because they're not perfect. And it's just like hating someone because they're not perfect. I mean, everyone has their flaws. Every console has their flaw. I mean, fuck. I'm even admitting it that the console's not that great. Hell, even the PS3's not that great. You got games that have like these big, high production quality cinematics, but when that shit's over, the game's over. It's like you sit there for like at least 13 hours watching cutscenes after cutscenes, updates after updates, installing this shit on my hard drive and that shit on the hard drive. That starts building up over the time, and it's like, these games have to load. It's like, well, how come I can't play up the disc? Because it slows it up, and there's glitches everywhere, and it's like, okay. And it's like, one of it's got the things you laugh at, because you have to sit there and you have to wait and wait and wait. I feel like I'm dealing with a 386 hard drive, for fuck's sake, when I'm playing the PS3. I should rename it to Windows 386 or something, you know, a 3.2. Because all the waiting you have to do just to play a simple freaking game, just to pre-install a percentage of the game so it runs smoother when it's, quite frankly, it does not run that smooth. I mean, yeah, Gold has its problems as well with the slow servers and everything, so doesn't the PS3 because you're not paying for it. Plus, it's supposed to come out with updated, smoother servers. I'm like, well, it's all dependent on your internet connection too there, Charlie, so you gotta understand that it's not gonna run 100% sufficient. I mean, the console again is ran quite well because Sony's really good at making hardware, but come on now, guys. Credit when credit's due, you found at least a couple games on this console that were good, so therefore it isn't bad, as you would assume. Hardware needs to be improved. The Slim has a couple repairs out there that has been adjusted, coordinated, and respectively looked at in consideration. Granted, you know, I heard a couple fuck-ups with the new Slim, but again, I cannot bitch and cry about that. These consoles I was aware of were used previous to the Contraire, because I heard that I think my brother bought both of these consoles at one point, and we ended up buying it off of him, and the second one was given to my mother. And these were both, I think, used, but I mean, I'm not going to say it's Sean's fault at all, because, you know, it isn't his responsibility. It's just the fact that, you know, these consoles, the hardware themselves were, you know, had a little bit of wear and tear before, you know, obviously them breaking down. So, I mean, everything, including computers, have the same problem as well. They're just going to break down whether you like it or not, and you have to fix it. Either way, I'm going to be playing my PS3 for a little while until I get my 360 back, so that way I could play some Halo Reach, and hopefully this time the 360 will implode again, and yeah. And hopefully, you know, it won't cost another $1 billion from Microsoft. And, you know, I could do a full review for this freaking game like I was promising a couple people, including myself, to do, because, you know, I really want to talk about the game, you know, talk about the pros and cons for this game. Because I have not fully beaten the single player, and I want to get that accomplished. So I want to get that accomplished, as well as I want to get, you know, some stuff knocked out of the ballpark. So those who are looking forward to more War of the Universe, I am going to be doing the full review for that on the War of the Universe HD. I'm going to have to probably find something to play with and review briefly, so that way it gives you guys a little taste in your mouth for obviously this said review. You know, above all else, I'd like to thank you guys gracefully for watching this video, from me rambling on about the pros and cons of each console. And, you know, got any comments, you always know to leave them down below. And 3 weeks time, or about 4 weeks time, because I'm sending this one in as well, we'll have some better results with this game and other games out there. So take it easy, folks, and take care.